Hi, I'm Julie Wild-Curry from Fairbanks, Alaska, and I am one of the White-Riley-Peterson Fellows. This school year, we've been on a journey, and I'm very excited to have been a part of that. So what I'm going to do is really describe to you where the policy strategy that I designed when we were actually at Furman University this fall has morphed into actually turning out to be a statewide network application that we will be submitting shortly to the Mott Foundation. In the fall, I was working on determining what it was that I really wanted to focus on this school year. And so in Alaska, we had an existing community school law that was on the books in our legislature, and it had been an unfunded mandate for a little over 10 years. And I felt that if we could connect all of the groups in Alaska that had been working on after-school policy to really focus on getting this one funded, we would have a definite better system in our state again, as this would really reach out to our rural areas. So when I got back home in October and early November, I started talking again with our local legislators about this and what their feelings were on being able to reenact this law and have some money attached to it to get programs started again across our state, as well as work on establishing a statewide network for Alaska. We were successful in talking with some of our legislators, and they were looking at agreeing to look at this again and help co-sponsor it. And then we had our elections, and we ended up with several new, very, very conservative legislators in Alaska. And it took a turning point that this was not something they were interested in discussing at this point in their career, being new on the docket. So what we did locally in Fairbanks, our advocacy group called the Community After School Partnership, and also our advocacy group for community schools, started looking at the statewide network at the same time that the Mott Foundation also started talks with Alaska Children's Trust and Trevor Stores. And Trevor is the director of Alaska Children's Trust. So we were connected through teleconference and really started to develop our statewide network. This has taken the process over the last several months of meeting weekly, either with our statewide network group or our local community after school partnership group, and also our advocacy group with community education. And right now we are in the process of putting together the grant for Mott. We have had several teleconferences with not only the Mott Foundation and Janelle to help us look at the best way to do this. Alaska Children's Trust will be the fiduciary organization, and that organization is actually very renowned in our state in terms of really helping to bring different leaders together to talk about issues that affect children. And so they are at a point where they have approval from their board of directors to go ahead with this. And my piece of working with them has been to bring partners together from across our state to look at not only working on this, but also bringing funding from their organizations to the process, as there is a dollar match for this grant, obviously. And we are starting to secure that funding. We have developed an MOU for all the partners. And one of my main goals is always to bring young people along in the process, because I am one of the seasoned, we will not say old, but one of the seasoned advocates and have been doing this for quite a while. And so we also have a group in Fairbanks of 25 to 30-year-olds who are not only in our field but also very passionate about the work we do, as they have seen the results. So I have a group of about 4 young people who are also working with me and learning in the process how to build relationships with legislators, how to keep our issues at the forefront, and how to continue meeting and providing the research that our programs have collected over the last 13 or 14 years on how after-school programs really help struggling students. They help parents who are looking for a safe place for their children to be, and they also help families connect with their schools in a better way. So we have that. So that's the twofold project, to really work on this statewide network, to hopefully receive the funding and to continue working on this, so we have a stronger local voice in the state of Alaska. We have been very fortunate that over the last 12 years, we have really worked with our national senators and representatives to have them support after school, and Young, Begich, and Senator Murkowski are very supportive of these programs, and so that's bipartisanship at its finest. What we don't have in Alaska is really a network and the support from our legislators that we need to have funding tied to these programs, and to be able to expand them more so in rural areas, as we have really lost the number of slots available for after-school programs in rural Alaska. So the last part of this project, which will be ongoing for the next 5 years, will be to continue working with this statewide network, and also bring younger people into the framework of what this takes, the amount of time it takes to build relationships with policy leaders in our state, that we have to continue doing that. And then to also bring the younger youth that are affected by these programs into this process. So to actually have an arm of the statewide network that will be devoted to youth leadership and strengthening their voice for after-school programs across our state. So I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to continuing the work. I can't say how much I have appreciated the other 14 fellows and learning from their experiences and what they're doing, and also their knowledge on developing statewide networks.